Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining me again for Kingdom Kids. So today we're going to begin a new lesson series. We're going to talk about the book of Joshua. Now, if you've been following along with us, you know that we have recently talked about the major prophets and the minor prophets. Well, the book of Joshua backs up some. It happens before all of that. So the book of Joshua happens after the escape from slavery in Egypt, but before the fall of Israel, and in fact, before even the establishment of Israel as a kingdom. So the book of Joshua is a long, long time before the major prophets and the minor prophets. So if you'll remember, Moses led the Israelites out of slavery in Egypt. Remember, he had his staff and he struck it on the ground and the Red Sea parted and the Israelites passed through safely. And when Pharaoh's army followed, the Red Sea crashed down on them and they were destroyed and the Israelites were free. Well, a lot more happens in that story. The Israelites do not just go immediately to their promised land. They sort of wander around for a little bit first, and they start to get scared, and they start to worry that they should have just stayed slaves in Egypt. And in fact, they kind of yell at Moses, and they say, "Why did you bring us here? We should be safe at home, where even though we couldn't do what we wanted or worship how we wanted, we lived in fear, at least we knew what was coming." And so Moses kind of fussed back at them. But also, God had them wander the desert for 40 years. And he did that for a couple of reasons. First of all, the number 40 appears a lot in the Bible. And when you see the number 40, that's usually a time of preparation. Jesus was tempted for 40 days in the desert. Noah was on the ark for 40 days and 40 nights while it rained and the world was cleansed. So the Israelites wandering the deserts for 40 years, that was a time for them to leave the idea of slavery behind and form their identity as these new people, as the Jewish nation. And so they had the 10 Commandments and they followed the rules, and so that was sort of what was happening then. So they had wandered for 40 years, and now Moses is old and he's dying and they need a new leader. And so God appoints Joshua. And Joshua is the son of someone who assisted Moses. So God appoints Joshua to lead the Israelites into the promised land. They've had their time of preparation and they are ready to go form the nation of Israel. And so here's what's important for us to understand today, is that when God appoints Joshua, he says to him, "Be strong and courageous, for you will lead my people into a new land. Be strong and courageous and follow the commandments I have set forth for you." So twice in there, he tells Joshua, be strong and be courageous. So like I said, over the next few weeks, we're going to talk a lot more about Joshua and the things that he had to go through. But what I want you to remember today is that twice God tells Joshua, be strong and be courageous. Be strong and be courageous as you lead my people. Be strong and courageous as you follow the rules. And we have to remember today that sometimes it's hard to be strong and sometimes it's hard to be courageous. Sometimes it's easier to just do what everyone else is doing. And sometimes it's easier to not follow the will of God. But we are asked by God to be strong and be courageous. And in the box below, you'll find a couple of games that you can play at home to help you remember to be strong and courageous, just like Joshua. And that's all for today, and I hope to see you all soon. And like I said, for the next few weeks, we'll be talking about the book of Joshua. So join me again. All right, bye.